Now, pulling the plug, when President-elect Donald Trump is sworn in tomorrow, it could signal a major change in our country's energy policies.
On the campaign trail, the president-elect called for a bigger commitment to fossil fuels. So what would that mean in a state like Rhode Island, where the renewable energy industry is a growing part of our economy?
Brian Yukono went looking for those answers in a story you'll see only on Eyewitness News.
From the Block Island wind farm that went online just last month to a booming solar power industry, Rhode Island's commitment to renewable energy continues growing. And we found that momentum is expected to continue growing, even if the Trump administration focuses on fossil fuels. May 2016, Donald Trump wears a hard hat praising Trump digs coal signs at a rally in West Virginia. There, he also slammed his main rival, Hillary Clinton, for energy policies he claimed would shutter coal companies and cut jobs. We wanted to know if fossil fuels like oil and natural gas become the focus of the Trump administration's energy policy. Will it impact efforts to grow the renewable energy industry in Rhode Island?
With our state programs, we're positioned to have this industry keep growing.
That's Doug Sabetti. He owns Newport Solar. We spoke with him at his office space in North Kingstown. It's a big step up from his home office, a sign of his company's growth.
Economics drive the energy industry, not only nationally but globally. And wind and solar are becoming the economic choices of utilities. And that is outside of any federal policy.
We checked with Rhode Island's Office of Energy Resources and found the clean and renewable energy sector created 907 jobs over 12 months. That's well above projections and a 40% increase over 2015. Sabetti credits Rhode Island's investment incentive programs and an option to sell energy to National Grid for boosting the solar industry. He believes that regional approach should protect the industry's jobs if the Trump administration has a different focus.
The tax credit helps, but the tax credit is actually quite small when compared to fossil fuels. And those tax credits for renewables are scheduled to phase out here in the next few years. So our industry keeps reducing our costs, and we're ready to stand on our own without any subsidies, and we'll do that.
While Doug provides one perspective, coming up a very different perspective from a company that tried to build a natural gas pipeline across Massachusetts. What Donald Trump's energy policy could mean for them, new at 6. I'm Brian Yukono, Eyewitness News.
Pulling the plug, we're taking a look at the impact President-elect Trump's fossil fuel-focused energy policies could have on the economy here in southern New England.
Live at 5, we showed you how Rhode Island has benefited from an increased investment in renewable energy and why one solar business owner thinks it will continue growing.
New at 6, we're hearing from a company that was trying to expand the fossil fuel industry in Massachusetts. Eyewitness
News reporter Brian Yukono is here now with a story you'll see only on Eyewitness News.
Donald Trump's energy policies are very different from those of the Obama administration. We've learned the impact of that likely won't be felt immediately for either the renewable energy or the fossil fuel sectors. At Doug Sabetti's office in North Kingstown, he explains Rhode Island's energy policies have set up the solar industry to continue growing for years to come.
Cheap fracked natural gas is what's putting the coal industry out of business.
But as we track the transition of power, the Trump administration looks to have a focus on fossil fuels, coal and natural gas, touting the creation of 500,000 jobs a year by eliminating what the president-elect calls barriers to responsible energy production.
If the new administration relaxes the regulations on fracking more, that will just make natural gas that much cheaper, and it'll hurt the coal industry that much more. Meanwhile, wind is becoming one of the least expensive sources of electricity in the country, and lots of utilities are looking to that.
We also wanted to know what a federal focus on fossil fuels could mean for that industry in New England. I reached out to Kinder Morgan, the company behind an attempted natural gas pipeline project through Massachusetts. Communications Director Richard Wheatley tells me the project was canceled because, quote, "we were unable to secure sufficient contractual commitments to make the project economic," citing the issues were state law-based. However, Wheatley also tells me he is optimistic that projects like this in the oil and gas sector will see less red tape and receive more support from the Trump administration. Donald Trump is still finalizing his cabinet, including his pick to lead the EPA, Scott Pruitt, who is actually suing that very agency. His confirmation hearings started yesterday. I'm Brian Yukono, Eyewitness News.